Aleppo, the industrial heart of the Syrian economy. Prior to the war on terror, there were 65,000 factories and 1 million staff in full employment, a major export market worldwide. Life was good for the people of Aleppo. Food on the table, money to spend.
In Aleppo, we have 35,000 factories. 35,000, more than any city in the Middle East, more than any city in the Middle East and North Africa, the MENA region. And I bet more than a lot of European cities, they don't have 35,000 factories in one city. This is the official registration. Unofficially, we have 35,000 other factories. So in total, we have 65,000 of all sizes. Like in the shadow economy and in the broad daylight economy, the registered factories, we have around 60 to 65,000 factories, large and SME, all sizes. The number of workers, this is the why everyone was fighting for Aleppo. The number of workers, the labor of Aleppo, counted for 1 million. 1 million. Out of this 1 million, 800,000 worked in the private sector. 800,000. These statistics are as of 2011. Just when the crisis, the destruction process, I call this Arab Spring, the destruction process of Syria just beginning. So they knew, whoever planned this destruction process, knew exactly, if you want to conquer Aleppo or destroy Aleppo, you have to hit it where it hurts. Where is that? Industry. Since Aleppo is the main industrial capital of Syria, and the whole city works, the whole city is blue color, the whole city is blue color and white color. It's a working city. It's like middle class and upper middle class and upper class city. So the only way to destroy the city is by destroying its industry, because this is the life vein of the city, the bloodline of the city.
أعطت الدولة السورية أهمية كبيرة للتنمية الاقتصادية والصناعية خاصة، فكانت الأولوية لإنشاء مناطق ومدن صناعية بغية تطوير الصناعة وتوسيع الموجود منها من خلال تنظيمها لتحسين قيمتها النوعية ومطابقتها للمواصفات العالمية، إضافة إلى زيادة كم الإنتاج من أجل التصدير. فقامت بإصدار قوانين خاصة لإنشاء هذه المدن ومنحها الاستقلال الإداري والتراخيص اللازمة، كل بحسب ما يتناسب معها، وعملت على التخطيط لبنائها وفق معايير ومواصفات دولية، سعيا منها لجذب الاستثمارات المحلية والعالمية. وبالفعل عام 2004 تم تأسيس 4 مدن صناعية في أكبر المحافظات السورية، وهي مدينة عذر الصناعية في ريف دمشق، مدينة حسياء في حمص، المدينة الصناعية في دير الزور، وأهمها مدينة الشيخ نجار في حلب، والتي خطط لها بشكل خاص لتكون على خارطة المدن الصناعية العالمية، لما يتمتع به صناعيو وحرفيو حلب ذائع الصيت في المنطقة والعالم بصناعاتهم الحرفية والصناعية العريقة، فضلا عن موقعها الاستراتيجي كبوابة بين الشرق والغرب، فهي كانت معشوقة طريق الحرير.
The industrial zone in the Sheikh Najjar, it's the main industrial zone in Aleppo, the main one. Actually, it's the newest one also. It was established around 10 years ago, just to organize industries from different sects into their respective locations. Like they would put chemical industries separate than the textile industries, separate than the food industries, all of this. It was state of the art. I've seen many industrial zones around in the area. The best one was in Aleppo. I've seen the ones in Turkey, for instance. I've never seen a more advanced, well-organized one like the one in Aleppo. The thing is that this industrial zone, it used to have operational, I'm talking about operational, around 1,500 factories in 2011. It was destined to be one of a kind in the whole region and one of few in the world, because the new industries were coming, new technologies were coming, like oncology, like new advancements in the textile industry, like in the food processing industry. We had mega plants, projects, all to be produced in Syria and in Aleppo as a capital of industry, and to be exported to the whole world.
Now just a shadow of its former self. The destruction is immense. 15 industrial zones, concrete and steel lie broken, like a scene from a Hollywood post-apocalyptic movie. But it's not a Hollywood movie, it's real. As I walk through a landscape of broken dreams and wonder how this could happen, this catastrophic event caused by terrorism. Behind me, an ISIS slogan, proclaiming they did this to this area of Aleppo. Like all terrorist groups, they like to leave their mark, their message. IS, it's clear, we did this. Destroyed and stole what we could. Scorch Earth campaign, leaving nothing of value.
At the beginning, various gangs, they would spread, leaflets, forcing these factories for closure, for like strike, a forceful strike. We called it at the time commercial terrorism. How can you force someone on a strike? If he doesn't want to go along with you, you cannot force him, you cannot shut him down by force. You demand people to shut down. But if someone who does not believe in your cause, can you force him to shut down? You cannot do that. That was the first wave of terrorism against this industrial zone in 2011. It started at the time where there was no Free Syrian Army, was not established yet, or at least it was not in the media. In 2012, mainly in the second quarter of 2012, they conquered the industrial zone of Sheikh Najjar. Armed gangs entered under the three-star flag, the green flag, under the name of the revolution, and I quote, they entered the Sheikh Najjar industrial zone to liberate it. To liberate it from what? To liberate it, of course, from its owners, from the factory owners. They immediately looted the factories. They looted most of the factories. And then other gangs came. Some of these groups turned into what's so-called Nusra. When they followed the Zawahiri in Afghanistan, they called themselves Nusra, a Qaeda branch in the Levant. Others followed the Baghdadi of Iraq, and they joined ISIS.
Al-Eramoun. This is what the Syrian army found after 2 years of occupation by terrorists. Everything stolen, everything destroyed. Turkey sent its own technicians to strip the industrial plant bare. Systematic rape of the Syrian industrial heartland, packed and shipped to Turkey. 1,100 workshops, 630 textile plants, 150 traders' shops looted, all stolen. The biggest textile manufacturers in the Middle East, now gone, nothing remaining, just rubble and unemployment.
Turkey, of course, played a major role in looting and destroying the industry in Aleppo. Major role. We did not reach this conclusion by just, by hearing rumors and, trying to think about it. We witnessed this. Every day in 2012, 2013, tens and tens of industrialists will call me and say, Turkish experts are in our factories. They are disassembling our production lines with the help of the FSA, the Free Syrian Army, and gangs, jihadi gangs. And they are taking these production lines to Ghazi Antab in Turkey, or to Adana, or to other places, Rehaniye, whatever. And they are offering us to buy back our production lines. And if we refuse, they will sell it in Turkey. We have thousands of such cases, all documented. All complaints are documented. Everything, we have it here. This is major piracy that was run, organized, and supervised by Erdogan. It is not a random act, because no one can really steal and shift heavy production lines through the border without the help of the border police, the Turkish border police. This, I'm not talking about smuggling, some things behind or between olive trees on the border. No, I'm talking about heavy equipment. I'm talking power generators, textile machinery, mills. I'm talking about huge stuff. Crossing the border under the eyes of the Turkish police by day, broad daylight, day in and day out, for 2 years. Continuously. This was a premeditated, organized process of piracy. So they wanted Aleppo with no industry. The same thing applied, of course, to the ancient parts of Aleppo, the old city, when they bombed through the explosive tunnels most of the ancient churches and mosques and monuments in Aleppo. And when we talked about launching a lawsuit, international lawsuit, accusing the Turkish government of conducting this piracy, weeks after that, in April 27, I believe, 2014, they bombed our headquarters, the Chamber of Industry in Aleppo, through an explosive tunnel also, and it is videotaped by them. They destroyed this whole building. It's in the old town. It's a Chamber of Industry, 3-story building, beautiful building. It has no one was inside, unfortunately, because we evacuated this area because it's like, border front line. So they dug a tunnel underneath it and they bombed the whole building just to send me a message. So the Turkish role is obvious. Everybody knows it. Everyone in Aleppo knows it. They didn't only steal factories and production lines, they also stole agriculture products, wheat, cotton, oil from Syria, and also the historical artifacts. They stole everything that can be stolen. And they send us back, they send us these mercenaries coming from, 80 or 90 nationalities, and they run them, and they even organized and put together Turkish gangs. Like we saw the name of Sultan Murad. I mean, Sultan Murad, how can you claim that you belong to the Syrian revolution when you call yourself Sultan Murad? Sultan Murad is a Turkish Ottoman Sultan. He has nothing to do with the Syrian history and Syrian heritage. So their role is dirty and quite obvious of the Turkish government. we have all the evidence to convict them of committing international crimes and crimes against humanity, committing international piracy against a sovereign nation. Countries cannot act like this in the international community. Who does that are pirates, like we used to, we hear in the stories and the movies about piracy, The Turkish government acts and behaves exactly like those pirates in Somalia, exactly, but on a much larger scale. They dismantled these production lines of thousands of factories, not one or two factories, thousands of factories. And not only that, they even sent and backed and supported and provided the political and the media umbrella for the thieves that carried weapons here. They called them rebels. They have the right to, they are fighting for freedom. Where actually they were fighting for the Ottoman Empire. They were not fighting for my freedom. They were not fighting for the freedom of my city. They were fighting to establish the Ottoman Empire on our bodies, on our, destroyed city. Rebels. That's what they did.
أنا كان عندي مصنع بالشيخ نجار لصناعة الخيوط، كان عندي مصنع بالرموز الصناعية لصناعة الألبسة الجاهزة بدلات العرائس، وكان عندي مصنع لإنتاج المواد البلاستيكية، المواد المنزلية البلاستيكية. طبعا نتيجة الأزمة الشرسة، الهجمة الشرسة الإرهابية على سوريا بشكل عام وعلى حلب بشكل خاص، تم استهداف معظم المصانع في مدينة حلب، وتم استهداف المنطقة الصناعية بالشيخ نجار، تم استهداف معملي وتم سرقته بالكامل، ومن ثم تم تفجير المبنى اللي موجود فيه المكانات اللي كانت موجودة، وتم تدمير كافة الأشكال. طبعا هن كان إذا بنقول إنه كان في استهداف لمعامل معينة في منطقة الشيخ نجار اللي هي المتطورة، ممكن تضيف قيمة مضافة للاقتصاد السوري. يعني كان الهدف من كل هذه الهجمة هي تدمير الاقتصاد السوري وتدمير الصناعة السورية لما كانت تشكل خطر، خلينا نقول على الجار اللي نحن كنا بنعتبره جار، اللي هو الجار التركي، اللي كنا نقول عليه جار طبعا، اللي ما اجنا منه الا كل سوء. بالاضافه انه منطقه الليرامون كمان تم الدخول الى من قبل العصابات الارهابيه، وتم سرقه المعامل بالكامل، ومن ثم تم حفر أنفاق وتفجير هذه الأنفاق.
هذا ما تبقى من مدينة الشيخ نجار الصناعية في حلب، التي دمرت وسلبت ونهبت من قبل الجماعات الإرهابية والدول الداعمة لها. باسم الحرية دمرت هذه المدينة بعد أن كانت مصدراً لرزق وعيش الآلاف من العائلات السورية. هذه هي الحرية التي أرادوها بنظرهم.
Our priorities now to salvage whatever is left of this ruins, of this damage, of this carnage, and to make something out of it. They tried to destroy the city. The city was not destroyed in spirit. It was destroyed in stones, but not in spirit. They tried to kill people. They killed 11,000 civilians during 4.5 years by random shelling.
So this behind us, Nazreen, is the main headquarters for this industrial complex. It's all been destroyed. Destroyed not for war, but for economic war. If you destroy a country's economics, you destroy its infrastructure, you destroy the workers, you destroy food on the table, you destroy the money that this country makes and this country so badly needs. For every building that's destroyed, there's hundreds of families have been lost, their livelihood, their economics. food, as I said, on the table. Without work, this country can't go any further. But we'll rebuild all this like Phoenix from the ashes. She'll re-rise, she'll regrow, and it'll be stronger, better, moderner, and we'll go forth into the next millennium, and we will keep going forward. Because Syria isn't weak. Syria is a family. This is the difference between Syria and other countries. Everything in Syria is family. Al-Nusra, they're not family. Daesh, they're not family. Syria, its livelihood, its life is family.
The Sheikh Najjar, it's been liberated for 2 years now, 2.5 years now. It has a lot of problems still with electricity, you know, because they destroyed the electricity grid, they destroyed the water sanitation, they destroyed all the infrastructure that the government built and provided in this area. And other than, of course, the factories. We are working now with the government on providing what we call smart compensations. Not necessarily money. Okay, we know that we have limited resources now because of the EU sanctions on the Syrian people. We can ease restrictions. We can, you know, give you tax incentives. We can give you many things that will compensate for your heavy losses, that will help you stand up again and rise from the ashes. That's our plan now in reviving the Sheikh Najjar Industrial Zone.
Aleppo industrial site. This is a recycling paper plant. All the paper is recycled and used for trade. Unfortunately, due to trade embargoes, there is no oil, petrol or diesel. It's quite ironic really when you consider the fact that the Western coalition allowed Turkey to steal Syrian oil, and yet Syria has no oil now. We can't produce oil, petrol and diesel the way we used to. So this plant, these staff are dormant, but they use the time to the best effect. They're doing maintenance, making sure the equipment still works, just oiling things, keeping things going until that oil comes. All the staff's been laid off, been sent home. Why? Through embargo. They don't work. They can't work. The fact that the UN adds sanctions to Syria causes people to go hungry. It does not have any effect on the rich. Just the people, the working class, go hungry. They can't work. But when you think about it, Syria is famous for oil, gas, but they can't import because all the processing plants that they had have been destroyed by Daesh, and Turkey has been a part of that. So, end sanctions, end trade embargoes, allow these people to live a normal life. They deserve it. After 6 years of war, after 6 years of suffering, they deserve all the help they can get from the West and from every nation in the world.
توقف هذا المصنع عن العمل لعدم توفر مادة الفيول، لكن السوريون مصممون على إعادة عجلة الحياة إلى الدوران، وكلهم أمل بإعادة بناء سوريا التي يحبون.
نحن اليوم بعد تحرير مدينة حلب إن شاء الله صناعيين حلب راح يرجعوا يبنوا الصناعة في مدينة حلب. نحن صناعة في مدينة حلب قديمة جدا. أول شركة مساهمة كانت في مدينة حلب عام 1936. نحن اليوم إن شاء الله بال2017 راح تكون كمان أول شركة مساهمة بعد الأزمة رح نشهد انطلاقته لتأسس مصنع كبير يكون لإنتاج الخيوط القطنية اللي هو القطن السوري، نرجع نعيده ونعيد تصديره كألبسة إلى كل دول العالم، ونورجي كل العالم أنه الشعب السوري هو منبع للحضارة وهو منبت للحضارة طبعا. ونحن كسوريين نعتز بسوريتنا، نحن عمر الحضارة عنا 8800 سنة. رح نعيد بناء سوريا، سوريا الموحدة، سوريا المستقلة، سوريا اللي رح تنشر الحضارة إلى كل دول العالم ورح تبعث إنتاجها إلى كل دول العالم.
الأمل مع العمل شعار وضعه السوريون نصب أعينهم، فمن يملك الإرادة يمكنه أن يحقق المستحيل ويصنع الحياة وأن ينهض من تحت الركام. لم تثنهم الحرب الكونية التي شنت على أحلامهم وعزيمتهم عن رسم ابتسامة على وجوههم المتعبة. لقد بدأوا من جديد. هؤلاء هم السوريون، بناؤوا المستقبل، صانعوا الحياة. بنوا سوريا منذ 8800 عام بأفكارهم وجهودهم ودمائهم، ولم ينتظروا أحدا. ها هم انظروا إلى إرادة الحياة لديهم، فبعد كل هذا الدمار ومن قلب المعاناة تخطوا كل شيء وبدأوا بكتابة عصر نهضة جديد.
المنشأة أقلعت عام 2007 في المنطقة الصناعية. بعد وجود الأزمة تعرضت المنشأة مثل كل المنشآت في المنطقة الصناعية لأعمال نهب وتخريب قبل المجموعات الإرهابية المسلحة. بعد تحرير الجيش للمنطقة الصناعية عادت الحياة وبجهود جبارة منذ أكثر من 11 شهر تقريبا. تم إعادة إقلاع المعمل، وهي الصورة بتحكي مثل ما انتم شايفين. المعمل عم يشغل أكثر من 150-200 عامل بما فيهم أسر.
الحمد لله رب العالمين، يعني الوضع افضل من قبل بكثير يعني. وهي المنتوجات اللي عم تشوفوها هون كلها بضاعة حلبية يعني رجعت عجلة الدوران تدور، المعامل تشتغل، يعني الشارع مثل ما يكون شايفين. ايه الحمد لله رب يعني الوضع افضل بكثير.
So how's life?
Yeah, it's good.
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 Right.
Good.
كيفما مشيت في طرقات حلب تجد روح الحياة تلف في كل ركن من حاراتها المهدمة. أما رائحة الغار فهي حكاية أخرى تفوح في كل أسواقها الشرقية، لتبقى بذلك السمة الأبرز والحامل الأجمل لاستمرار الصناعات العريقة والمتأصلة فيها. هذا ما يوجده الإنسان السوري، صناعة الحياة في عصب الاقتصاد السوري، حلب.